This is the talk of Music City Real Estate.
Welcome back to another episode of the Talk of Music City Real Estate,
where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
My name is Monte Moore with Realty One Group Music City.
Hey, and I'm Carey Ann with CMG Financial and My Mortgage Team.
Every week we'll be posting a new episode chock full of Nashville real estate value.
Yes, and you can follow along and subscribe at talkmusiccity.com.
Got questions for us? Ask away at questions@talkmusiccity.com. That's questions@talkmusiccity.com.
Monty.
Carey Ann, good to see you.
So good to see you.
Man, it's been a long time.
It has been
Holy smokes.
a long time. Wow.
And we have flown all the way in from Key West, Florida.
Yeah. The one,
Yay,
the
Chrissy.
only. Welcome.
Thank you,
Welcome,
guys.
Chrissy.
Love being here.
You bring the sunshine, not so much today, but you always bring the sunshine with your personality. So we're grateful to have you here with us. And I love the topic. You always bring such great topics. You're always reading the latest and greatest book all about how to build business and utilize so much more in our everyday. And so excited to talk all about the passion conversation. I can't wait to talk about that. But Monty, should we highlight our sponsor? What do you think?
We should.
All
Absolutely.
Right. Hey, so Music City Removal, they're the #1 junk removal service in Nashville from residential, commercial, and construction. They're experts in ridding you of junk. Their costs include labor and dumping fees without any hidden or added expenses. So whether you need a full clean out or just one item removed, who has just one item to remove? I don't know. But they have you covered.
Having just gone through the move, there was a whole lot more than one. But
I know, right?
The Music City Removal team knows the importance of respect and trust while in someone else's home. They understand the inconvenience of junk left behind by previous homeowners and tenants and are determined to provide an affordable and customer-focused junk removal service that puts you first. For a free on-site estimate, just go to musiccityremoval.com. That's musiccityremoval.com.
Yes, Music City Removal, because clutter ain't cute. No, it's not. But our guest is so cute.
Love her. Love that smile.
We got another blonde in the house. I love it. So
it's
good.
blonde power. I was going to ask Connie if she would come on here too today, but she was training. And I thought, that's just too many. That's too much blonde power.
I got to see my sister. She turned 40, the big 40. Welcome to the club, I said. And I always laugh when we all get together because we have the exact same hair color, all of us, and my mom, but we all go to different hairstylists. It's kind of funny. Wow. So we call ourselves the blonde at Dashians or something like that.
Blonde
I don't know.
Dashians.
Yeah, something fun. The serious blondes we go. The serious blondes. Too funny.
Yeah.
Well, Monty, take the lead on this fun topic.
Well, I think, it goes without saying that, let me start with this. A couple of weeks ago, you were on it, Carey, and you remember this, Chrissy, you were there on our huddle call, and I had I did something unusual, and that was bring on one of our newer team members to talk about something that was near and dear to her heart, because when I interviewed this young lady, and she started talking about this, why she sells real estate. And her purpose for selling real estate is so she can help fund this ministry in Kenya, Africa. And when she started talking about it, her eyes welled up. She had a hard time talking for a minute because she is so passionate about it.
Right, love that.
So passionate. And I'm not saying that we have to be that passionate about what we're doing, but I'm telling you, if the consumers that we're dealing with know that we're absolutely passionate about what we're doing for them, whether it's the mortgage part or whether it's the support part or whether it's the real estate part, all the hats that Chrissy wears, all the hats you wear, all the hats I wear, if they know that we're passionate about it, that they will want to do business with us. I just really believe that. So I'm really glad that Chrissy was able to bring some insights to this topic because, it's easy to talk about, are you passionate or not passionate? But it means a lot more when you can delve into it and better understand the clarity of why it's important
for sure
to your future.
It was actually perfect timing because that had happened on our huddle call, and I'm reading this, and it connects, and it seems that happens a lot. Serendipitously, whatever we're discussing comes up. It comes to me. So
amazing.
I am happy to share this with you guys, and I think this really applies. I think a lot of people might want to be passionate about what they're doing or think that they are, but it's a little more intentional than that. Yeah. So
let me put you on the spot, though, Chrissy. It seems like you're passionate about your occupation. And let's talk about that first, where it's really home base. Are you passionate about what you do? Because you're dealing with a couple hundred real estate agents And you're keeping, see that smile? She keeps that smile going on with all these people saying, well, I forgot how to log in, or I don't know my password, or I don't know, all this stuff,
Some days.
And I'm one of the worst. I get it. I'm one of the worst. I'm not throwing stones here. But you apparently are, there must be some passion towards your occupation.
You know what it is I came on to Realty One Group Music City, and I didn't know I was going to be passionate about this company. I didn't know, anything about it. Oh, it's just a job. It's a paycheck. That's great, But then everything we do, those little small day-to-day actions, that little minutia that seems frustrating or boring, that's the stuff that allows us to grow. That's what allows us to do the big actions. So it's kind of easy to see beyond the frustrations and move past those, because I know that that's building a bigger picture. So I'm not necessarily passionate about resetting passwords, no. But I am passionate about what Realty One Group Music City can do in Middle Tennessee, the people that we can help, the outreach, just all of the different things that we can do as we grow, and with all of the people that are part of this now. So whatever I can do to help those people succeed helps us succeed, and it's just a bigger picture goal. So.
Well, Carey Ann, let's put that in your lap. You can't tell me you're not passionate about what you've done. Here's a lady. Someday I would really like to hear your story, really from the heart, your story. How's a young lady, going from a server to one of the best in the industry? How does that happen? You had to, somewhere along the line, get passionate about it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think passion comes from down deep inside. And many of us are definitely passionate about different things. I think the mortgage industry has been one to be a vehicle to allow me to do so much more. I came to Nashville to pursue music, and I enjoyed, entertaining and, giving back and doing all of that, and sharing my gift, and who knew there was more gifts to give, and so I definitely think, when we dig deep and we realize what ignites us each and every day, now keep in mind, it's very stressful. I'm now blind in one eye because of it, but I do have that excitement, about, each solving a new problem each and every day for a family, and to see their smile, and I guess just gives me goosebumps right now. We definitely just make a difference for so many. I think, real estate agents, mortgage lenders, all the vendors associated, because it truly takes a village, to do what we do. But, and I'm just grateful to have the opportunity, and maybe one day we'll talk more about it, because there was not that. I lost it many years ago, and had to reignite, find that fire in my belly to want to, really make a difference out there in the industry.
The number of families that you have taken from no that they can't buy a home to yes they can, if that doesn't keep things flaming.
Yeah. It's a lot of hard work, and we make it look really, really easy. But I think what keeps us passionate is surrounding ourselves with people that are like-minded, that people that are in it to win it with you. If somebody's always dragging you down, if somebody's just speaking negativity, it just is not one that you probably want to continue to pursue, right? So we'll talk about that probably a little bit more too, because you have to, make sure that everything that's coming through your ears is what's going to help you, move forward. But yeah, I love this. So the passion conversation is a book.
It is a book. It's kind of broken into a lot of little categories. So it's essentially a book. It's a marketing book, but they really say that it's a book about people, because that's where it all begins. So when you said, you love to see their smile, and then that gives you goosebumps, that's the sign, that's the passion. And that starts with people. If people weren't part of that, those goosebumps don't come.
Sure. And I think we're so lucky to be in the industry of people, right? I mean, we could be behind a computer just, typing away and hoping 5 o'clock hits, and keep in mind, the job that we are all in doesn't end at 5, right? I mean, it's sometimes many of you are up long hours, and that definitely shows your passion for what you do. So love it.
And you hit on something else about the like-minded people around you. So that was interesting, because because they really start this off with, you have to find what you're passionate about, find what the people around you are passionate about. You have that circle, find what your customers are passionate about. And if all of that aligns, that's the golden ticket. If something's off there, then that's where you adjust. So you have the right people.
Oh, I love that. And I love what you're saying is seeing and asking probably more questions and figuring out, what your clientele is really passionate about, right? And trying to achieve those goals for them.
Definitely.
As in they're passionate about 3-2.
Fulfill that goal.
Right.
There's some passion behind it, but go ahead, Chrissy. Let's learn more about this, because I really want everybody. I honestly have a conviction personally that if it weren't for my passion about what I do, that I wouldn't have been as successful as I have been over the years. But people bought my passion to help and serve them, and the money's been great over the years, but it was really it's more of I think, coming from a servant's heart, passionate about a vehicle that I can not only help somebody on one of their largest assets in their life, but get rewarded really well in the process. Even in these tough days that we have right now, it's even, I think, more exciting, and it's more, I think it's easier to get passionate about it, except for maybe the obstacles that we have to go through nowadays. Mm-hmm. That part's not as much fun. Mm-hmm. I think all the more reason why we have to lean into that passion of why am I doing this? Why are we doing this?
Well, and that's exactly it. They really do break it down into 3 questions. And I think you both have been very successful in this, kind of pivoting to accommodate different things. But they say, who do you serve? What are their challenges? And then how can you help them with those challenges? So if you can't answer all 3 of those questions, it's kind of hard to get to that finish line. But if you know, who are your customers, what are they facing, and how can you accommodate that, that's where you pivot on your programs, or you offer different things. And you can't really be stuck in one lane because your customers aren't. So I think that's kind of part of it, is really connecting on the people level of what are their challenges. And we forget to ask that question, and we just kind of go straight ahead with our blinders on, and that's important to know what their challenges are.
If you look outside the real estate world and you look more into the retail world, right, selling this or selling that or shoes, I'm seeing more and more people are associating the product with a passion. Right. Meaning, I think down the street at a certain restaurant, with every meal that you and I buy, they give a meal. Right. So there's some more passion behind now with a mission, associated with it, which is kind of cool to start to see. I think Tom's was the first, and now there's a sock business out there, giving away, socks. And, how much more can we give before, than we take? Right. So that's really kind of what we're talking about, and fueling that passion.
It's filling up your heart, and that's part of it. What I did find interesting here was, we're in an age of technology, and we're in this, everything's online and social media. But they said that your customer is out there, so you also need to be out there. You need to be with the people, with the customers. If you're kind of behind the scenes, you really miss what those customers' passions are, and you're not connecting with them. So they say you got to get off the couch, get out from behind your computer, get out there in the world and interact. And that's been huge, as part of what I do with helping our agents and our team. They say, well, how can I build my business bigger? Go network, socialize, get to know people, connect, make connections, those people
have conversations, right?
Just the conversation.
Just simple conversation. And you're so passionate, which I love. Your heart is so big, but you brought a lot to the RG family when it comes to, a mission behind, it used to be like a monthly cause, right? And that really ignites you too. How much money can we raise for this great organization, or how many, clothes can we gather, for that, or dresses, et cetera, et cetera. And that kind of ignites something down deep inside too. Sometimes we do hit a rut, and we'll be honest, I'm in one currently, and we have to reignite when things start to feel like they're closing in, a reason to get out, right? A reason to kind of reconnect, with people, and the reason why you got in the industry you got into, right?
Your purpose. You find that purpose, and then it gets lost sometimes, and you just got to remember what that is. So getting out there and those people connections really reminds you, this is why we do what we do.
Yeah. And if you feel like you're alone and by yourself on that. That is why surrounding yourself with like-minded people are there to help yank you out, to get you excited. Now, being a leader that you are, you as well, and myself, sometimes we put a lot on our shoulders to be that person there to cheer them on. And, we don't have the ability some days to be sad or forget about the reason why we started. We just have to, be on point, and help the other kind of get back to where and remind them where they started too. But, being truly passionate allows you to have that opportunity to maintain a career long term. This is not just a job, right? And some people, I think, get in the business of real estate possibly part-time. Yeah, maybe they put a small toe in there, not the full foot type of thing. And I think anything that you do, I'm a big believer that you've got to give your all. Like I love the question we ask a lot: are you committed, or are you just interested? And that commitment level definitely shows the passion too.
They said that too about advertising, that if you have an advertising campaign, it's kind of an on-off switch. But your community building, again, that people aspect, that's a long game. That's long term. So if you're not dedicated, if you're part-time and this is something on the side for you, you're not giving it that long-term dedication. So you got to really be in it for the long run to build the community and really get this part going. They talk about word of mouth marketing. So again, that's coming back to people. And we live in this world of social media and internet and all of that. Well, they said only 22% of customers coming into a business are really from that. They say that there's the other 78% that's come from some form of word of mouth marketing. So a lot of times we think we're putting out, all of the things we need to be creating a building, a foundation for our business and continue growing, but we're missing that integral part of actually having people talk about us.
It's so interesting. So I've been doing my walk and my run and my bike and all this crazy stuff that I've been doing lately, but listening to a lot of podcasts. And one of the podcasts was talking about you really don't have a business unless a large portion of your business comes from another person. They used Yeti as an example. Yeti has more people that have stickers on the back of their car, stickers on the back of their trapper keepers or whatever we call these things, and we have the cups, and it's a cooler business, right? More people talk about Yeti, right? And it's word of mouth. You have a business when ... right? And so that really put it in place where you're right. We spend so much money and effort and time to go get leads from this lead generation or that, where really we could just be loving on our current sphere and getting so much more business and really enjoying and connecting that passion together, right? And building it inside out.
One of our main mantra is that we are the most passionately referred real estate team or company in Middle Tennessee. And the reason why we started that several years ago is because, just like you're saying, both of you, that if somebody is passionate about you, they're not going to hesitate referring you. Yeah. And if you're passionately referred, initially I had started saying we're the most referred real estate team in Middle Tennessee. I started this, 10 years ago. Right. But then I realized I'm missing a key word in there, and that if they were passionate about us, now there's no hesitation in ever referring us. Yeah. And so I think all of us need to strive to be the most passionately referred, whatever it is that we're doing, for our circle of influence, that there's no hesitation, that they would never ever dream of hesitating referring us to their family and friends, because we are the most passionately referred real estate company in Middle Tennessee.
That's huge.
They had said something kind of along those lines where, when you first start dating someone, you got a crush and you're really excited about them and you just want to tell everyone about them, and you just tell all your friends and your family, and you just can't stop talking about them and thinking about them. Make your business that. People should be so excited about you that they can't wait to tell their friends. So that's the love part, think of it that way.
Wow.
That's huge. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes we have to reconnect with that, right? Sometimes we fall off, even though we're great at what we do, right? We sometimes just slip and we fall off. So finding a way to get back into your groove to share the love and share that passion. That's so good.
Well, I think in Carey Ann, when you scale a business like you've scaled and like we've scaled, it does take time. Every once in a while, you've got to stop and take a break and say, okay, for me to be the leader of this, I've got to become that person first as we grow. And so I've got to step back and say, okay, let's not lose sight of the reason that we are passionate about it, because all the minutia can get to you after a while as a leader.
Yeah.
I know it can.
Yeah.
As passionate as you are about, the details that you have in your plate, Chrissy. And so tell us more about what you learned, and tell us more things that really spoke to you, because I know that this is right up your alley to be talking about this topic.
Yeah, and so I pull out little tidbits and facts, because those are the things I remember later.
Sure, yeah.
So this is kind of nerdy, but there was this thing that's called time distortion, and this is kind of a psychology thing, I guess. That if you are with people and you might not know them very well, if you have a certain amount of time with them and you go to multiple locations with those people, they will suddenly feel like they've known you for longer, because that part of our brain with that memory, they associate you now with multiple places, which makes them think it must have been over a longer period of time.
Oh, interesting.
So that's something, when you're getting out there and connecting, and, if you're in a networking group and you meet every single week, well, someone who's now seen you 3 weeks in a row, they might feel like they've known you longer than 3 weeks. They might feel like they've known you 6 months, because they've seen you at multiple occasions. Or if you are going from, when you go out with the buyer clients, you first meet them, it's kind of stiff, you're kind of getting to know them, but by the time you've seen that fifth house together, you guys are best friends.
Right.
That's
Same
part
concept,
of that time
yeah.
distortion.
Yeah, and I think even on social media, right, we talk about another book called Permission Marketing. You get them into your world, and it's interesting when you have a plan to share more of your world on a regular basis, more people feel like they've known me for years, right?
Yeah.
Or you for years, right? And know so much about you, and it's really that unique connection, that you're able to grasp, whether you're able to get out there, more and more, and face to face, definitely makes a huge difference. But if you're not able to do that, at least start to be aware, and take inventory on your everyday, because the more you share, the more they feel like they're in your world, and they can see that passion and really connect. Good stuff.
We had our meetup Monday yesterday.
Yes.
And we have an agent who has come on with us. She's only been with us for about a month. And she said, I feel like I've been here forever. And I said, well, that's because you're really interactive. You've been to all of our events and you participate, and she was like, yeah, it just feels like longer. And then I read this and I was like, time distortion. That's what it was. She feels that. And so I love that. So when you're, thinking about connecting with people, making your marketing about people and not, the details and the stats, but the person behind all of that, incorporate a little bit of this, a little bit of the consistency of opening up, letting them see behind the curtain a little, connecting on that personal level, not just the business level. And then automatically you create that passion.
Yeah. And I think if you don't think of it as marketing, if you just do you, and you just show who you are. Now, don't fake it. If you're not passionate, don't, because people can read through that as well.
For sure.
But if you really are, then definitely share more, because it just happens. Now, again, we have to trust the process, and we have to be patient, right? I mean, I am a girl, I want it yesterday.
What we're talking about is something that takes time.
Yeah, it does.
This is an internal thing. It takes time.
I mean, you think about someone who's been in the industry 30 plus years. I've got another lender who's been retiring now for 2 years, and she closes $2 million a month, right? And I don't even know where she lives anymore, right? Because she has such a following, has such an opportunity where so many people just know her, love her because of her passion from so many years, in the industry, which you have that, as well. And so that's something to be said. We just have to trust the process, be patient. So many people are kids, are born into, today we can get everything so fast, and growing a business is not an overnight success. And if it did create an overnight success, I wonder if it would stay long term. Right. I mean, I think it would just be a flash, a fry-in situation. And it's up and then it's down. So, trust that, and be real. and
Your
and
phone
connect.
just reminded me of something interesting.
That I need a new phone.
Well,
Did you see that too?
I did see that.
You can see that, the little things I'm not so worried about in life.
But it did remind me of social media. So when we're talking about word of mouth marketing and how people talk about you when they're
Right.
excited about you, they said 90% of word of mouth marketing happens offline despite social media. So, we see the comments and the messages
Yeah.
and this and that, but it's still 90% offline. It's the people out there talking about you when they're standing in line for their groceries.
Right.
And talking
I've
to the person in
heard,
front of them.
I get a lot of, I heard
Yeah.
you were blank, 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 or I heard
Yeah.
you can do dot, dot, dot,
Yeah.
And you're right. That was at the grocery line or, down getting the gas, et cetera.
When we're out there being real people. So it works.
And that's another big reason why simplifying your marketing so people can remember things, right? So you don't want to be, I remember that, good looking 6'5" guy with white hair,
The old guy.
he just was so good, right? Type of
Yeah.
thing. So remembering to shorten the marketing, shorten, things so it's not so complicated for people to remember who you are either. I
Yeah.
think that's key.
Well, even down to colors, because if I see black and gold in my brain now, it's Realty Wonger Music City.
Right.
If I see that bright green color, I'm like, oh, Carey Ann.
Yeah. Green is for money. Money
Yeah.
is for CG. I
you
give
go.
money. Yeah, exactly.
That's
And
great.
all those things work. So this can be purchased or it can be an audio. I know you love the audiobooks. You're a big
Got
fan of those.
Almost 100 of them in my my Audible account.
Oh, yeah. You can.
What's
you
the name of the
can-
book again?
It's called The Passion Conversation.
The Passion
This
Conversation.
actually, so my husband said, did you buy this secondhand? Because there was some writing in the front to someone else that wasn't me. And I said, yeah, I found it at Salvation Army. And it just popped out at me. So again, serendipitous. But if you don't go to the Salvation Army and get it, you can get it on
I
Kindle.
love that you're at the Salvation Army. Number one, I think that's great. So, so online, Amazon,
Yeah.
whatever. You said
Yeah.
a book the other day on your huddle call, and I was right there on the huddle call. I'm like, Amazon overnight, $8.99.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm old school. I like paper, so I like to read it that way because I feel like I'm listening and then I get sidetracked and doing something else and I'm not really comprehending
Yeah.
Well,
what
I
it is.
try
get
to
it.
redeem the time because I mean that's my one
Well, yeah.
celebration.
Yeah.
That we live farther away since we sold our home recently. We live on the other side of town now, and so now I can listen to 3 books a week instead of only 2.
Hey, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
That's a plus. I
Add
love
it on
that.
your list.
I love that. Well, definitely check out the Passion Conversation. Thank you so
Yes.
much for being with us.
You're welcome.
Flying all the way in here to talk about passion. You
That's
are
right.
passionate,
Yeah,
lady.
we're
We love
passionate.
it. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We can't wait to have you come back next week. You've been listening to The Talk of Music City Real Estate.